Okay. Oh man, let's go. Oh, David Darley. Oh man, only David Darley has realized how many inside jokes have already just been for him the entire time. Let's talk about this. Uh, Bro, let's be very clear. For those of y'all who don't know, Neely Wilson is my niece, and she's living with us. And so it did not surprise me at all to find out that David Darley was teaching her health and wellness class and putting her through the paces. Not surprising at all. Let's talk about this. This is awesome. Number one,
Achiever.
let's go. Number two, belief. Okay, and I'm going to come back and explain these with some special terms that I've made up just for David Darley. Number three, consistency. Number four, discipline. Is everybody else, like, as you're hearing this, everybody's like, this is exactly David Darley to a T? Is everybody else feeling like that? I love it. Number five, responsibility. Like, we were freaking out. Like, I was like, where's David Darley? His strengths finder said he should be 5 minutes early. And then when I found out you were with Kyle Ferguson, it all made sense. It all made total sense at that point. Okay, dude, I want you to, David Darley, lean in, man. I want you to understand this. You get things done on purpose, pursuing something bigger than bigger than yourself. Like, all five of your strengths are in the execute. They're in the execute. They're in the execute. They're in the execute. So my guess is that there might be a little bit of ready, fire, aim syndrome in your life because you're such a doer, and you have, oh my gosh, you have the ability to keep so many balls in the air. So let's talk about this with juggling. I thought about anyway. Achiever means that you want to keep more balls in the air than should be humanly possible. And again, just like I was talking about with Ricardo, like, you have to be careful because that's probably a value proposition that you developed early on in life. It probably was something your parents praised you for, is your ability to get things done. And so you just have to be careful and recognize that your value does not come from your ability to get things done. Your value comes from the Father saying, I love you and I believe in you and I'm for you. Like that in itself is all the value you need. You're not more valuable the more you accomplish. But achievers are always going to wrestle with that. When we hit belief, it means that your balls that you keep in the air are important and significant. Same thing that I was talking about with lore is that belief means that you operate on a set of core values. And again, they're probably different, slightly adjusted compared to lores. But again, that's how you operate. That's how you roll. Is there are certain things that are non-negotiable for you. And you recognize that they're yours, but because of your belief, you actually kind of hold others to them. And so you kind of have to be careful to recognize that you have to let God be God. And he's the one who gets to set values for them, not you. And so you have to recognize when you're moving into Pharisaism, because I think that's always going to be a tendency with your gift mix, is that you're going to want to judge others by the convictions you've taken on for yourself. And again, the Holy Spirit may have already softened that out of you. Consistency. So this was a new one for me. You're the first person I've ever gotten a chance to talk with that has consistency. And it's basically, it's got to be fair theme, right? So with consistency, it basically means that everything should be the same for everybody. Everybody should be treated the same. And so you've probably got a real heart for justice. That's probably one of your beliefs, that you want, man, that the isolated, the outcast, like there may be something in you that is stirred by that. Just because, again, consistency and belief coming through, I could see that happening because, again, consistency means, man, it's got to be fair. It's got to be the same. We can't show favoritism, those types of things. And then discipline. Oh, my goodness. Discipline is pretty amazing because discipline, it's not just you being disciplined. Discipline is the idea that every ball that you're juggling has a proper course and path. And discipline means that you are awesome at communicating these paths, but then keeping things, following the trajectory and the course that they're meant to follow. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're the best at determining, like, if somebody can tell you this is what we're trying to accomplish and this is how we're trying to get there, you're great to be at the table to say, well, here's the system, here's the structure, here's the way that we can do it. Right. So like if you've got a systems, a routine, a structure question, like, holy cow, I want you at the table with me. And so that's one of those things. You can read about that. You can listen to podcasts about that. You can get even better in that area. My guess is that you're probably already listening to productivity and efficiency podcasts. If you're not, there's tons that you should start listening to. You can start with a guy named Michael Hyatt, Hyatt. He's one of my favorites. He's just all about getting things done.
You say that again?
Michael Hyatt, Hyatt, Michael Hyatt. What's it called?
Hyatt Leadership Series?
No, it's called, it might be that, but his podcast, Living on Purpose, I don't remember what it's called, but if you'll just search his name, anything he does is worth listening to. But he has a podcast with his daughter that's really good. But then also you've got responsibility, and responsibility, man, is like you feel great weight, and which is awesome because according to all these other things, you're also amazing at carrying weight. But responsibility means I don't want to let anybody down. I don't want to drop the ball. Mm-hmm. And so you actually crave responsibility. Like my guess is that if you're going to Collide, before you owned portions of Collide, you would have been happier being a part of the leadership team than attending. Just because, again, like you crave weight, you crave pressure, and especially with achiever and responsibility, like you not only want responsibility, you want to show people that you can handle more than they think you can handle. So let's talk. So again, man, I think here's the deal. Everybody wants a David Darley on their team. Everybody wants a David Darley on their team because you get things done. Not only do you get things done, but because of your discipline, like your discipline theme, like you also have the ability to get people into the places. You're a great team leader to where you can get other people in the places to get the maximum done. And so if you're doing anything significant, you haven't already asked David Darley to be a part of your team, you need to. But having said that to everybody else, here's the warning to you, David. It goes, again, anybody with achiever has to hear the thing about Sabbath. You got to Sabbath. Mm-hmm. Yep. Because you're naturally just going to keep working because it's what makes you valuable. But the crazy thing is that you rested is so much more impactful than you tired. Mm-hmm. The other thing is that looking at this, man, I'm just going to tell you, you probably stink at delegating because responsibility, all these things say that I can do it better, and you can. And that is so true. But the thing you've got to understand is that, and yes, for the first 10 years of whatever your calling is. And again, like, dude, anybody would be an idiot to not hire you for anything, but especially in areas of your passion, like they're going to hire you. Like, and when they hire you, they're going to find out that they got so much more than they bargained for because you're going to accomplish literally 130%. I don't mean literally like figurative, like most people use literally. Like I mean literally 130% more of what they thought you were going to be able to because of your gift mix. Like they're going to ask you questions that judge your competency, but when they get you in that position, they're going to find that you're accomplishing an additional 30% than what they thought they did simply because of the way you're wired. Now, again, for 10 years, here's my prediction. For 10 years, you're going to run into no problems. But what's going to happen is because you carry weight at such a high level, people are going to keep piling it on and keep piling it on and keep piling it on. And in 10 years, you're going to reach the limit of what you're capable of. Not only that, your marriage is going to be suffering because of achiever responsibility, whatever weight they're putting on you, you're going to light up at the idea of carrying it, but you're not going to realize how much of that stress you're carrying home. And so like, I'm peering into the future and I'm saying, listen, bro, like you got to fix this now. Like you got to learn how to build team. You have to learn how to ask for help. You have to learn where your limits are. You have to learn to say no, because I just told every single person that if they're doing anything significant, they would be an idiot to not ask you to help. So that means that if everybody listens to wisdom, and they should, and here's everybody, listen, David Darley has to learn to say no, so you can ask him to do anything. You can't filter his opportunities. So again, you would be an idiot to not ask him, to not get him on your team. David Darley, you have to say no.
Yep.
You have to. Because again, like every time you say yes, like think of it, like think of a page filled with yeses, right? And a few yeses, they're huge. But the more yeses that you put on a page, what happens to each yes?
You have to get rid of another yes, or you have to say no to something else.
No. If you keep saying yes, the yeses keep getting smaller and smaller as they get a myriad. Like you're getting the idea though, is that the more I stop saying yes, the more I say no. Every no is not a no on the page. Every no is a removal of a yes.
I got you.
And here's what we know about achievers. You're going to fill the page. You're going to fill the page with effort and work ethic. You're going to fill it. And so the fewer yeses you have, the more significant of an investment you're going to be able to make in whatever it is God is laying before you.
That's good. Yeah.
And so you have to go, Holy Spirit. So here's my word to you. Never say yes in the moment.
Okay. Always
say, hey, let me pray about that. Let me think about it and give me 2 days. Here's what I know. The moment that word comes out of your mouth, that get back to me in 2 days, it puts weight on you. And so the cool thing is that you're going to take the next 2 days and you're going to figure it out. Mm-hmm. But your default answer is no, not yes. Mm-hmm. So if God doesn't say yes, you're going to say no. Because again, like you're going to benefit whoever you invest for. But I'm just going to tell you, the more you invest big in a few things, man, just the greater the impact when your life is over. Mm-hmm. And when you get married, you got to make sure that the biggest yes is to your marriage. When you have kids, you have to make sure that the next biggest yes is to your kids and to your family, because you're going to be prone to workaholism like you can't even imagine. Mm-hmm. And again, I know that because I'm a workaholic, a recovering workaholic that works with recovering workaholics. And so I'm just warning you. Okay. But again, but you need to understand, like God has given you capacity like that nobody on this call can imagine. Your ability to get things done is ridiculous. And that is a gift from God. You are Samson when it comes to executing. But Samson's strength was his downfall. So don't be an idiot.
Do you got any recommendations of someone I could talk to about that?
About which part? Don't be an idiot.
Kind of a little bit of everything, but like the main thing is just like saying no, not saying yes to everything.
Yeah. I'd be happy to talk with you because it's something that I've struggled with. Cool. Richard Everly. He's got some strategic thinking in him. And so he's not gonna necessarily know it from, but he also has Achiever. He's not necessarily going to know it from an experiential standpoint, but he's going to really help you process those types of things. I don't know any better strategic thinker that I'm tied to than Richard. It's ridiculous. So him, dude, honestly, if you can get time with Darren, mm-hmm. He would probably have something to speak into that. Rachel's got some Achiever in her, and so again, Rachel or me would also be good options to just kind of how we deal with that in our lives.
Awesome. Cool. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. All right, let's do it again. 3 down, 3 left.